Hello, welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. We are playing Scapeshift once again, and this time we are running up against green-black Tron. So let's get underway. So our opening hand, we have a Search for Tomorrow, Scapeshift, Explore, Prismatic Omen, a Wooded Foothills, a Valakut, and a Cinderglade. Hard to mull anything with a Search for Tomorrow in it. It's such a good card for us, having a turn 1 play. Otherwise, this hand is quite awkward on lands. Cinderglade is not going to plug them into play untapped, nor is Valakut. So, hoping to draw a land that can come into play tapped for turn 2, but otherwise, fairly happy. Penalties off with an Urza's Tower. We are going to get a Stomping Ground, and we are going to suspend Search for Tomorrow. Plays a Chromatic Star and passes the turn. Okay, so seems to be struggling a little bit over there. We play Cinderglade. Opponent plays a Power Plant. It cracks the star into nothing. So definitely struggling over there. We get to Search for Tomorrow. Into Explore, which draws into another Prismatic Omen, which isn't particularly useful. I can play another land here and play Prismatic Omen. Oh, it's that first land for the turn. And then we can play Valakut as well, so we have 5 lands in play now. One plays an Oblivion Stone, finding his 3rd land. Fortunately, not a Tron piece. Well, it is a Tron piece, but not the final piece of the Tron. So here we're going to Search for Tomorrow to get our 6th land, which also triggers Valakut. We're putting down to 17, and going to cycle the Sweltering Sun. I thought about keeping it, but I decided to cycle on my turn in case we find a land, I think was the idea, because I don't think we played a land for the turn. Opponent plays Chromatic Sphere into Sylvan Scrying, finding Urza's Mine. So he's got Tron together, but he only has 2 mana for this turn, which he's going to use to make a Walking Ballista, which is not of any great consequence. We're able to play Primeval Titan. We could have Valakut Scapeshifted instead, but I mean this is going to be just as good. We're going to be able to lethal our opponent here, because we're going to be able to fetch up 2 Valakuts, which are going to be mountains thanks to Prismatic Omen. So we're going to get how many triggers again? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we're going to get 6 triggers. So still going to deal 18 damage to our opponent, and yeah, opponent's dead. So yeah, our opponent stalled quite a bit. Didn't have the best of hands, and that just allowed us to basically play out our game plan and get all the Valakuts. Obviously, you get to see Prismatic Omen here as well working, making our Valakuts that much more powerful. And that much more speedy, so yeah, managed to finish up the game nice and quickly there. So let's go on to the sideboard. Okay, so in terms of sideboarding, I mean the primary things we want are our Artifact Hate cards, so not Ancient Grudges, Reclamation Sages, Nature's Claim. We perhaps don't necessarily need all of those, but those are definitely the cards we're looking at. Sweltering Sun's obviously not at its best. We probably don't need Lightning Bolts either, so we're probably looking at taking those out and replacing them with the Artifact Hate. Also, maybe Tireless Tracker coming in, just as a threat, the early threat to play if we so desire. And it also can gain us some advantage. So yeah, I think primarily focusing on bringing in Artifact Hate but you can also look at maybe bringing in the tireless trackers just for a quick creature to take advantage of the speed of Tron. So yeah, I think that's probably how we're looking to sideboard in this one. Okay, so on to game 2. So we have a 7-card hand which is entirely of Light of Lands, which doesn't seem too great, so we're going to mulligan that. We go into a 6-card hand which is also all lands. I end up keeping this, but I kind of regret it. It doesn't really do a whole lot, but mulligan to 5 just seems really bad. Run out Valakut. With a second Tron piece with an expedition map, so that's all not looking very good for us. Looks like he's going to have Tron on turn 3. It's obviously very powerful. So down comes Khan, and yeah, that kind of wraps it up. I can see here, I suppose we could have tried to play it out, but it's not going to end well for us, most likely. I think there's a very good chance our opponent just exiles one of our lands here. And potentially just exiles another land the following turn. Alternatively, can take up Khan, but either way, we're like losing fairly majorly. We haven't got anything to sort of interact with at the moment. We're just trying to cast a Scapeshift, but we can't last as long as it's going to take without any ramp. So yeah, I don't think there's any real chance winning this game, and just decide to call it a day there. So here we are with game 3. Sorry about that. So yeah, so here's our 7-card hand for game 3. Obviously, a mulligan. We don't have any green mana, so that's obviously a bit of a problem. And there's only 1 land in this hand. This is not terribly exciting, but good enough, I guess. We've got the Sakura Tribe for ramp, and we've got the Scapeshift, which is the combo kill, of course. We see a forest on top, which I think we're just going to bottom. Opponent plays Mine into Chromatic Star. We draw into a Valakut. Pass the turn back. Opponent cracks Chromatic Star into Ancient Stirrings. Finding a Warping Whale, which is a counterspell for our Scapeshift, so that's something we need to be watching out for. We draw into another Sakura Tribe Elder, which we're going to run out. Plays a Chromatic Sphere into another Ancient Stirrings, which finds Sanctum of Ugin. So yeah, our opponent's really struggling to find Tron pieces, which is obviously very good for us. Again, we're going to search up another land with the Tribe Elder. I'm going to run out Valakut here. We're very close to getting Valakut activations going. If it plays a Relic, cracks it. Doesn't seem to find anything, and plays a Sanctum of Ugin. We find Summoner's Pact, which we're going to use to get Primeval Titan, just in time for us to cast it on turn 6. Well, with 6 mana. I'm going to have to search up a second Valakut here in a mountain and deal our opponent 6 damage. I'm going to be able to play a second mountain, deal 6 more damage to our opponent. So we can put them down to 8. Pass the turn, so our opponent's going to need to do something pretty spectacular this turn if he wants to survive. And yeah, opponent plays a Chromatic Star, cracks it, and concedes. As I say, unlikely he's going to be able to come back from that. So yeah, probably not the best example of this matchup. Basically, we went on for 2 sort of false starts from our opponent. Certainly, game 1 he missed some land drops, which is never good for Tron. And in game 3, our opponent just really wasn't able to get things together, which does happen with Tron. sometimes the Tron pieces just don't come together, and obviously that works out very favourably for us. So without our opponent's fast mana, we have a very good chance of putting our combo together. So yeah, in general, I'm not entirely sure how good this matchup is. I mean, I guess it's primarily a race to put up your lands together and get your combo going. I think probably Tron might be slightly favoured, certainly if they put their pieces together and put a Karn down or something like that. So that's very difficult for us to beat. Yeah, our combo is probably a bit slower. Obviously, a lot faster at killing our opponent though. So there's certainly a chance for us to get back into it. And as I say, if the Tron deck stalls, then we can certainly pick up a win out of that. So yeah, I suppose we need to be watching out for Karn, obviously. And there are other big threats in the deck that are of concern, but yeah, I suppose Karn is the real big one. If they don't find Karn and they just let us build up our lands, then we are going to be able to pick up the win. Ulamog, I suppose, is also another one. Anything that really exiles our permanents and removes them, which obviously makes us unable to combo effectively. So yeah, I haven't played this matchup enough to really see how good we are against it. Seems like they might have a bit of an upper hand in that they can speed. They have a bit more speed than us, but if we're able to put our combo together, it will be lethal, as they don't really have a lot of ways to interact with us, which is obviously very good.